Good morning, guys. I've been up for like an hour and a half playing online because I'm a douche. It's beautiful outside, so of course I'm sitting in here. But my kneecaps are killing me from my workout yesterday. Yeah. And today's going to be chest and back. And let's see if we can do that. I'll see what that looks like when I get done with this. I noticed you guys only watched the first couple minutes, so I'm going to get started. Interestingly enough, what is it like to feel inadequate on the one hand? Because, let's be honest, we're all human and we all have these like feelings like we're not good enough. And yet being told over and over and over again that you're too much. Inadequate, too much. What the fuck is too much? It's a really interesting concept for somebody that walks around the world going, why do people listen to me? Kind of a doofus. And it takes me a while to recognize that I have things to say. So public speaking for me is awful until one day I realized the people around me wanted to hear what I had to say, and that what I had to say had value and purpose and mattered. And that was really weird. And after that, I just started opening my mouth and saying stuff to see what it would do. And at this point, mostly people laugh. That's cool. But this whole concept of inadequate versus too much, how do you balance that? The things that I think I'm inadequate with, if you listen to me talk enough, you're going to see that I have a speech impediment. And I keep it under wraps as best I can. And I have something weird that happens in my head where words kind of go, and then I forget everything that I had planned out. I can't memorize stuff. Shit. I don't. I was in a play once. I had 4 lines. I really struggled with 4 lines. I just can't do it. I have to ad-lib everything. I'm really good at ad-libbing. Unfortunately, what it means is the weirdness that is within me kind of like sprawls out and goes all over the place. And that's where I feel like I'm not quite like everybody else, enough that I can like fit into the world. At the same time, when I try to date somebody, like right just a minute ago, one of the guys that I'd been talking to a month ago, who like ghosted me because things got too intense, all of a sudden started saying hi and asking how I was. And I'm like, why are you doing this? I just stood there and listened to you. You were the one that melted down in front of me. I just was a shoulder. And then I was too intense, or the situation was too intense. It's fun, said no one ever. I don't get it. I do the big brother thing, where people come to me when they have issues and I like resolve them. For instance, I'm going to give you a for instance. This is actually a pretty cool story. I'm at the bar with my ex-husband, but at the time we were boyfriends. I think we were engaged at the time, with a couple of our other friends, and I'm walking through and I see this young kid sitting on a chair, and there's this much older gentleman pawing at him. This immediately sets off alarm bells in my head, obviously. And I walk up and I'm like, hey, dude, we've been looking for you. What are you doing? Are you okay? And the kid goes, I'm not okay. And the guy goes, he's fine. Just leave him with me. And I joke around about being North Korea because, it's like nobody can see in. Nobody's really understanding what I'm doing. Well, when I go up in arms, it's very self-evident. It's not, you do not, what I give off is not, hey, don't do that. It's like, you have one chance to survive this confrontation. Take it. Yeah, I know. So I said, I told the guy, I said, come on, I'll take you back to the group. And I turned to the guy, and after he said no, I said, you will sit down and you will shut the fuck up. And I picked the kid up. And he like 120 pounds. So easy. And walk him over. And I said, okay, so I'm here with my friends. I could leave you with them because you'll be safe. Or we could walk around and try to find your friends. He says, please help me find my friends. No problem. How are you feeling? He says, I feel really weird. I said, you've been roofied. That's what roofied feels like. I've seen this before. So I walk him over to this group of people. I said, okay, guys, I don't know you need to take him to the hospital, but you're going to need to make sure he gets a lot of water. And you're going to need to make sure he's not laying on his back any point in this night. And they all looked at me and said, he's been roofied. I know the guy. I saw the guy that did it. So if we need to press charges, we can. But you're going to want to take care of him. And I handed him off to them. And they immediately escorted him out of the building. Yeah, that guy took the fuck off. It was awesome. I scared the shit out of him. I'm not that terrified, but I guess I can be when I have to be. When the cannons come out, you definitely can tell that it's going to be a fight. And I'm not that person. I'm not an angry person. I will fight if I have to. And I'm vicious. But I will protect people. Especially this poor kid. That really just aggravated me. The remainder of the story is, the kid leaves, it's all good. The guy got caught a couple years later trying to abduct somebody and went to prison. Probably should have went there to start with. Really feel bad. I'm trying to figure out what's in his mind that made that okay for him. You know? That's the weird part. I can sit there and look at both sides of the story and go, this kid was maybe 21. So he didn't know anything. He didn't realize he needed to pay attention and take care of himself and protect himself. Kind of like my ex Josh. My ex Josh did this, not the same thing, but something similar. When we were at the bar, he comes up to me and says, I really feel weird. I said, what have you been drinking? He said, water. Where's your water? It's over there. Did you leave your water at any point in time? He goes, I set it down and I went and did this and I came back and I'm like, you've been roofied. He's like, no. I said, you haven't drank anything, yet you're acting drunk. And he's like, oh. I said, so what do you want to do? His friends are all like, we're going to take him home with us. Because they were cool. They were really cool people. You guys all stay. There was a whole group of people there. I said, no, I'll go home with him. I can take him home. They're like, no, we'll take care of him. He'll be fine. I'm like, cool. I like these friends. Get home. I get done with the bar, and after I tell everybody, I said, there's some man in here roofing people, just FYI, so watch your drinks. And everybody's like, oh. So get home. Well, actually, I go pick him up. He's like really lovey-dovey. It was really interesting because he normally wasn't like that. It was an interesting evening. Yeah. But anyway, this is me defending people. This is the part of me that is too intense. This is the part of me that is too in control of the world. I realize that that's a thing for people that aren't. This thing that I feel is not correct. This is an incorrect thought pattern for me. Do you know how difficult it is to hold this one up and say, this is what I'm being told, and to hold this one up and say, this is how I feel. And they're like this, far apart. It's not logical. But feelings aren't logical. They're annoying and fun. They bring misery, right? And ecstasy. So you have to balance all those, which is why I always tell people, you have to feel your feelings, because you have to be able to say, this is the truth of the feeling, and this is the lie of the feeling. And my self-perception is, this is the lie. This is my parents speaking. Thanks, Mom and Dad. And this is the world speaking. And I have to remember what the world is telling me, because this lie here was two people who were miserable in their lives and were okay with passing that on to the next generation. And this is a loving world that tells me I have value and what I do makes sense and is good in the world. I need to do more of this and less of this. See, self-reflection. I do this all the time. INFJs all the time. When the cognitive dissonance gets high, it's the turbulence. And the turbulence tells me these two concepts, one of them is correct and one of them is wrong. Which one? And you have to pick. And you have to pick off of hard data and feelings. I love you guys. I love you, dude. Hopefully this wasn't too deep because this isn't even starting on depth. I'm not kidding. I'm deeper than this. I'll talk to you later.